Most of the people that we see that have a neurological problem have terrible sleep problems. They have a hard time getting to sleep, hard time staying asleep, and they want to sleep throughout the whole day. This is problematic because sleep is one of the most important parts of being able to heal. So herein lies the problem. So let's go through 3 kind of quick tips for how we can start to think about sleep hygiene, how you can improve your sleep if you're someone that's dealing with a neurological problem. So number 1 would be to cut out the stimulants. A lot of people will say like, I'm good with caffeine, it doesn't affect me, or prescription medication that has a stimulant, or maybe a non-prescription medication that has a stimulant. All of these, even if you consume them in the morning, have sleep effects when it comes time to go to bed at night. So ideally, especially if you're an autonomic case, you want to try to avoid caffeine, avoid coffee, green tea, the whole lot. Number 2, if you're the person that is starting to try to get fit and they're using exercise, which is really common in this group, we want to keep that going. But if you do it too late into the evening, sometimes those late exercise days can make it very hard to get to sleep and even stay asleep at night. Number 3 is the one that everyone's going to want to try to ignore, but it's probably the most important one. And number 3 is relative to light hygiene. And what I mean by that is thinking about sleep in a natural rhythm, right? So we have a period of time where we sleep, we have a period of time when we're awake. There's a period of time outside when it's dark, there's a period of time outside when it's light. There's a reason these two things are intertwined. Our brain, our suprachiasmatic nucleus, is designed to be able to use light to be able to tell us when it's time to start trending down our neurotransmitters and hormones so that we can engage in restful, healing sleep, and when it's time to then start shifting those processes again back toward a wakeful cycle. This happens in a rhythm, so it's the expectation that our body should be in that rhythm. 3 things that we want to do. Number 1 is we want to try to get up as close to sunrise as possible. Some of you guys are going to turn this off right now, but you want to get that early red sunlight and get it in your eye to that suprachiasmatic nucleus so it can start the clock in generating that rhythm. And you want to do it every day. The more rhythmic you can be with that, the quicker you can get that sleep schedule back toward an alignment. The rhythm of sleep is really important if we want to maintain normal sleep cycles. Number 2, in the evening, making sure that we're getting exposed to that sunlight in the evening before the sun goes down. To kind of piggyback on that for number 3, we have to talk about devices. So devices emit what's mostly the blue spectrum of light. The blue spectrum of light, we're designed to pick that up in the middle of the day. If we start noticing that we're taking that blue light and we're shifting it toward a period of time when it's normally dark outside, it's very confusing for the brain because we're getting a signal like it's daylight in the middle of the day. We haven't got that signal that the sun is going down, and then we're trying to go to sleep right on top of that. Just from a light perspective alone, I know it's torture. We have this conversation all the time with patients, but trying to minimize the time that we spend on the phone in the hour, 2 hours, even 3 hours before you go to bed. If you're really serious about getting sleep, this is super important to try to minimize that amount of blue light that's happening in your eyes. And bonus tip, that same application while you're sleeping. Even just taking a glance at your phone to look at the time in the middle of the night flashes that light into your eyes and can have an effect on resetting that rhythm throughout the evening. So it makes it so it feels like you woke up earlier, which is going to change your sleep onset for the next day and on forward. So stay in rhythm, try to avoid the stimulants if you can. Try to see if you can get that exercise done earlier in the day, and let's see if we can get on a normal rhythmic light schedule with light in the morning, light in the evening, and try to minimize the light exposure directly to your eyes after dark. Good luck. I hope it helps.